Hello and welcome to another weekly update. Bit of an odd one this week, trying to keep it quick. I am getting ready to go to the European Collaboration Summit in Dusseldorf. So I'm in London's Heathrow Airport at the moment, just waiting for my gate to open. And still, lots of things to talk about this week. Expect lots of videos and such from European Collaboration Summit. It should be good to catch up with lots of friends I haven't seen for a long time, as well as get lots of really good content. I'm going to be talking about bot framework and bots in the Microsoft ecosystem, what that looks like, what it means to build a bot now with Microsoft on the Microsoft platform, whether you should go with bot framework, whether you should go with Power Virtual Agents, and all the rest of it. But let's talk about what's been happening this week. First of all, the first link I want to give you is a new walkthrough from the Microsoft Teams team and the developer documentation team. It's a walkthrough of using the token generator sample application. The sample application itself is not that new. What is new is a really detailed walkthrough. So previous and sort of prior to this, you had the token generator sample, which is a GitHub sample anybody could use. But really, there was a good README file for it, but really, you kind of need to know quite a lot about how the whole system worked and all the rest of it to put it all together. Now, you can follow this walkthrough. It's really nice. It's done really well. There's a lot of detail and lots of steps to go through. It makes it much easier if you're coming into this for the first time. So that's definitely one to check out. Next up, Microsoft Teams Rooms. So Graham Walsh, who is something of an expert on the Microsoft Teams Room system, has put together a really nice blog post called The History. It's a video really, The History of Microsoft Teams Rooms. If, like me, you're sort of relatively new into the world of Microsoft Teams Room systems, maybe it's not your forte, your specialism, whatever, this is a good video to just get up to speed with where they've come from, the problem they're solving, and where they're going. So great video from Graham, that is worth checking out, just to kind of give you some good background information, background knowledge on Microsoft Teams Room systems, even if you don't deal with them every day, especially at the moment. If you're not going to offices, that's fine. There's some good developer opportunities in Teams Room systems, I think, so it's definitely one to watch for the future. And then finally, the other thing I want to call out is something that is in the Microsoft 365 roadmap right now. So it's being worked on, it's coming next year, but I wanted to let you know about it because it's going to be quite a big deal if it impacts you. This is for Microsoft Teams applications, and specifically applications that use kind of built-in native capabilities of mobile devices. So things like the location, the GPS, QR code scanner, and the camera and stuff like that. If you think about how Microsoft Teams apps work inside Microsoft Teams, actually Teams probably already has access to things like GPS and the camera. Those applications are kind of right now, they're just automatically inheriting it, and that might not be what the user wants. So this change will explicitly make Teams applications have to prompt for access to some of those permission sets for things like cameras, GPS, and all the rest of it. So it's a bit like an app store, an app experience inside the Microsoft Teams app. When you go and use some of these Teams apps from inside the Teams mobile application, this is confusing, isn't it? Then the Teams is going to prompt for things like access to the camera and stuff like that. So it's just a change in where the permission model sits rather than it all being inside Microsoft Teams. I mean, it's still going to be there for Teams. If you install Teams for the first time, your mobile operating system is still going to want you to prompt for access and all the rest of it. But this is almost like within that, once you've done that, Teams giving that permission to third-party applications. So that's what's coming. So if that impacts you, just be aware of it. Don't have any sort of details on whether or not it's a system developers will have to implement or whether it will be built in. I imagine it will probably just be built into Microsoft Teams, the application, so developers won't specifically have to do anything. It's just that they need to be aware it's part of the user flow now. Users will get prompted for access to things like that. So maybe documentation needs to be updated, maybe training for that stuff as well. All right, I think that's everything I want to talk about. Trying to keep it quick. Hopefully the audio isn't too terrible. We'll see how it goes throughout the rest of the conference. Got some different ideas for kind of giving you a good quality kind of experience from a conference. So we'll see how it goes. All right, I better go and get on this plane. I shall see you at European Collaboration Summit for some more videos, and I shall see you again next time. Have a good one.